Guys, so in today's video we'll be discussing about 10 reasons why you should not be visiting Spiti Valley in the month of April 2025. So now this particular video is for all those who are contemplating visiting Spiti Valley in the month of April but are unsure because of various reasons. So here we are going to be listing down the 10 reasons we feel that you should avoid visiting Spiti Valley in the month of April. So number 1 is the unpredictable weather. So this year the winter has come in very late. It's in the month of March that it has really started snowing, and it's expected to continue in the month of April also. So you can expect it to be snowing and raining in parts of Kinnaur and in Spiti Valley. So this kind of snow and rain will actually end up hindering your entire experience, precisely because when it is snowing and raining, what's going to happen is that either there will be roadblocks or places will be cut off, or you might end up worse getting stranded in Spiti Valley, and you'll be at the mercy of the army who will be needed to rescue you, which has happened in the month of March and has happened previously during the winter months rather, in Spiti Valley. When the weather goes bad, it's the army who comes in and then saves the tourists and brings them out. So if you're someone who's scared of getting stuck in Spiti Valley because of bad weather, then April is the month that you should not be visiting, considering mainly because winter has really arrived late and it's going to continue into, I would say, till mid-March, April, or maybe the end of April. It's when it's going to be snowing and raining throughout the journey from Kinnaur to Spiti Valley. Number 2 is the limited road accessibility. Now, keeping in mind with point 1, because winter has come in late, there is no way that the Manali Rohtang road via Kunzum Pass will open, which is the faster gateway to Spiti Valley. So by default, the only way in and out of Spiti Valley is via Kinnaur, that is from the Shimla routing. So this way you have only access to one side of the road. So by default you have to go in from Shimla and return via Shimla, because there's no other way for you to make the journey to Spiti Valley. There is no airport, so there's no way you can fly out. Number 3 is the risk of landslides and roadblocks. There's a very high possibility of I would say roadblocks and landslides because of the winter being very late. So because it's very late, by default you will end up getting a lot of roadblocks along the way, especially in Spiti, which will cause you to either have your trip curtailed, or you might end up having to return back to maybe Kaza or Tabo and will be unable to go to places like Hikim and Langza. Number 4, and one of the crucial factors for most people traveling, is that since it's going to be really cold, it's very unlikely that you'll get to have a bath during your entire journey. Maybe once on the entire trip you will get at the best to have a bath. Other than that, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to shower in Spiti Valley, because the water is not going to be hot enough and you're not going to get enough of water to have a shower on a regular basis. I would say keep your hopes up and if you can have a bath twice on your entire journey, then so be it. But beyond that, it's going to be very, very unlikely that you'll get to shower on a daily basis. And if you end up showering on a daily basis in the month of April, you will definitely fall sick, and this will cause problems for your other co-travelers, because they will have to take care of you, or will have to book a 108 emergency vehicle and send you back home to the nearest hospital, which is at Rekong Pio. So that's number 4. Number 5, I would say, is that many places are still shut in Spiti Valley, like the places like Demul, which is a beautiful village. It's known as the cultural center of Spiti Valley, which still has the traditional way of living in Spiti Valley. More on that in our special video on Demul. But other places like Komik, Langza and Hikim can also be shut because of heavy snowfall. Even the Chicham Kibar bridge could be shut if there is heavy snowfall. You might be able to go up till Kaza and then you'll have to return back. So be prepared for a lot of things being shut in the month of April because of the rain and snow that is expected. Now the cold weather clubbed with the high altitude could really cause problems for a lot of people, because oxygen is already very limited and low in Spiti Valley, since it's a barren cold desert. There are no trees. And if you add to this that the cold weather, that the extreme cold temperature, which could be anywhere between -10 to -20 degrees in the month of April, you can fall sick to AMS, that is mountain sickness, which is a very high possibility. So for people who have a not so very pleasant tendency of traveling to high altitude places and are not comfortable traveling to cold places, give the month of April a skip. Even though it is warm in the mainland of India, remember that the Himalayas are altogether different ball game when it comes to the weather and climatic conditions. And Spiti is notorious for extremely cold weathers in the day and in the night. So by default, I would say for someone who isn't comfortable traveling to places when it's really cold, plan your trip in the month of June and July, but not in the month of April, because the altitude can really cause a big problem for you. Lack of medical facilities is also a very big problem over here, because if you fall sick, you will end up having to make the journey all the way back to Rekongpio, because that's the closest place where there is a decent hospital which can treat altitude sickness. And the only cure for altitude sickness is for you to descend. So the only way you can come out of this whole thing is you come to lower ground. So when you're in a place like Tabo, Langza, or even Kaza, which is at anywhere between 3000 to 4000 meters above sea level, which approximately converts to 10,000 to 13,000 feet above sea level, you have to come down to places like as low as 5-6,000, which could be Shimla, which from Spiti Valley is a good 18-hour road journey at the fastest, I would say. So make sure that you go there when you're fit and fine and you can deal with all of this. Number 8 would be, there is no access to Chandratal Lake. So by default, when you're traveling to Spiti Valley in the month of April, there is no way that you'll be able to access Chandratal Lake. Whoever has told you that it's possible to visit Chandratal is lying to you. There is no way that you or your group or anyone can make it to Chandratal, because the road beyond Chicham is going to be shut. There is going to be no way that you'll even maximum, even if you reach Losar, you cannot really go beyond that. There's a police checkpost and they will not allow you to go beyond that point. So at the most you can do is you can just go till Losar and then make the return journey back, but there is no way you will reach Chandratal Lake. The lake is closed, and at the earliest it will open by the second half of June this year, because winter, again I'm repeating myself, has come pretty late and it's come pretty hard in the latter half of March. So it's going to be a delayed start to Chandratal this year. Finally, the last point I would say why Spiti in April is a bummer. The main reason is that after doing all the travel and coming to the Spiti Valley, all that you're going to experience is a snow-covered place with barely any experience, because all that you're going to visit is maybe Tabo and Kaza, while the real experience of Spiti Valley is in the villages, and in the villages is where you get the authentic and the real experience of Spiti Valley, where you can live with the villagers. You can spend a night or two with them, staying in different villages, get an experience of what their daily life is, that is going to their fields, roaming around with the cattle, and even helping them cook food, which is not possible in the city culture places like Tabo and Langza and Kaza, sorry. So my personal recommendation is that unless and until you really want to experience winter Spiti and you've already experienced what it is in summer, then make your trip to Spiti Valley in the month of April. But if for a first timer who's traveling to Spiti Valley, it's not worth going in the month of April. It's best to plan your trip after the second half of June. So basically July, August is a more ideal time to be going to Spiti Valley for someone who really wants to see Spiti Valley and experience it for the first time, and wants to have a complete experience of what Spiti Valley has to offer, which most say is a life-changing and a spiritual journey to the high Himalayas. Now, if you're someone who's planning a trip to Spiti Valley and adamant to go there, we do have trips to Spiti Valley. We have group trips and private trips. Both are possible. You can click on the link in the description and you can easily book a trip from our website. If you have any queries, you can WhatsApp our team related to our trip. The number is on our website, so you can easily reach there from the link in the description. If you have any queries related to travel to Spiti Valley in the month of April, you can leave a comment in the comment section and we'd be more than happy to help. Finally, if you're someone who's planning on taking a bike ride to Spiti Valley, it is very dangerous in the month of April, because winter is going to be your biggest challenge. If it starts to snow, your bike is going to skid and you're going to have broken bones or even far worse. So do not even consider going to Spiti Valley on a bike trip in the month of April. No matter what the weather tells you, it can turn bad anytime. The best time to go biking is from July, August and September, not in the month of April, especially in April 2025 when the winter has just arrived in the month of March. So keep in mind that when you're planning Spiti Valley this year, just be very wise, I would say, while deciding, because there's a very fine line between bravery and stupidity. If you're planning on self-driving to Spiti Valley in April, you will definitely need chains, and these chains you need to carry with you from whichever city you're coming to. Nobody has chains on hire in Himachal, which will be provided. Even if they have chains, it's not necessary that it will fit the vehicle that you have. So it's better to get your chains customized from the city you're coming to and then make the journey. So till our next video for Spiti Valley, stay safe, stay happy and stay blessed.